Hello, my name is Sahil Sharma, and in this video we are going to study about TensorFlow basics using Google Colaboratory. Make sure that you have opened the link collab.research.google.com. After that you have to log in, and I have used my login, so you can log in. Then you have to open a new file. So you can use the new notebook, but I have already made my notebook, so I will open my notebook, TensorFlow basics. The agenda to this TensorFlow basics tutorial is that we will study about TensorFlow installation, why we use TensorFlow, how it works, representing tensors, tensor shapes and ranks, types of tensors, slicing of tensors, broadcasting with TensorFlow, types of data and changing the types of data, and more useful TensorFlow operators. First of all, I would like you to know this, that I am using this Python notebook. So the extension is IPython notebook, IPYNB, IPython notebook. So this is a Jupyter notebook on Google Colab, and we are going to implement the code in different segments. So first of all, there is a code segment. If I want to insert a new code segment, I have to click this, and insertion of new code segment will be there. For inserting a text segment, I can add a text cell by clicking this button. Now I have already made the code to explain you. So initially I have just given you the agenda. Now the installation. Well, if you are working on a local machine and not on the Google Colab, then you need to install the TensorFlow first. First of all, there should be Python version installed with or without Anaconda. So Anaconda is a version for using on Jupyter Notebook. So for only CPU laptops or PCs, then you can install conda install TensorFlow or pip install TensorFlow based on your Anaconda or normal Python. So if you have a GPU in your PC or laptop, you can install this on the command prompt using conda install -c anaconda TensorFlow GPU or pip install TensorFlow GPU. In Google Colaboratory, there is no need of exclusively installing the TensorFlow because all the needed libraries are already installed in this. So you can also run your code on a mobile phone by opening the Google Colab. Now why do we need TensorFlow? So TensorFlow is an end-to-end open source platform for machine learning. It is comprehensive, flexible ecosystem of tools, libraries and community resources that lets the researchers push the state of the art in machine learning, and developers easily build and deploy the ML powered applications. So TensorFlow is the world's largest machine learning repository, which is owned and maintained by Google. So how it works? TensorFlow has two main components, graphs and sessions. So TensorFlow works by building a graph of defined computations. Nothing is computed or stored in this graph initially. So it is a simple way of defining the operations that have been written in the code. So a TensorFlow session allows the parts of the graph to be executed. It allocates the memory or resources and handles the execution of the operations and computations we have defined. So enough of theory, let's begin our code. First of all, we want to use 2.x version because I am going to do the coding in version TensorFlow 2.0. After declaration that we will be using the version 2.x, let's import the TensorFlow and print the version. So let's run the code cell by cell. You can run this cell by clicking on this button, and you can also run this segment by pressing shift enter. So my version is 2. So this is TensorFlow 2.0. Now what are tensors? A tensor is actually a vector or a matrix which can be of higher dimensions. Internally, TensorFlow represents tensors as n-dimensional arrays of base data types. Now there are different data types which can be used for a tensor. It can be int, it can be float, it can be string, and many more. So what is a shape? Shape is the dimension of data. And just like vectors and matrices, tensors can have operations applied to them like addition, subtraction, dot product, cross product, etc. We will see this later on. Now the types of tensors. There are four types of tensors: variable tensor, constant tensor, placeholder, and sparse tensor. We will see these one by one. So remember that I am using TensorFlow 2.0. Variable and constants can work easily in TensorFlow 2.0, but placeholder uses 1.x version of the TensorFlow. It is not directly doable in TensorFlow 2.0. So let's see what variables are. In this, I have declared tensor A with data type variable. So tf.variable. So A is a variable whose initial value is 0 and it is a input tensor. B is a TensorFlow constant type with value 1. Now using the for loop in Python, we can easily do this: a equal to a plus b. So every time value of a is being updated and printed. So what will happen if a has initial value of 0 and we are increasing value of a by 1 every time? So when first time the printing is done, tensor value is 1, second time tensor value is 2, and final time tensor value is 3. So the value is being represented here and the data type is integer 32. What are constants? Constants values does not change. A constant 3, B constant 5, addition and then printing value is 8. So 3 plus 5 is 8. Data type is integer. Now placeholders. Placeholders need version 1. So there is a need of stopping the current version. So first I will stop the runtime. I want to restart the runtime, so I will click restart runtime. Yes. Now I want to run this block. This block would not have run on 2.x. It needs 1.x. So I have written these two statements here. What is a placeholder? Placeholder is something which can take the input from the user. On the runtime, the value can be given. So here placeholder ex is defined as a tf.placeholder with integer 32 type and shape as 123. So the value given to this placeholder is 123 and I want to print the value, so I will do shift enter. Why is this statement written? Because by default TensorFlow 2.x was selected and now 1.x was needed, so TensorFlow 1.x selected on this point. Then the value of placeholder ex is printed with a shape of 123 and data type integer 32. What are sparse tensors? So sparse tensors have three different tensors: indices tensor, value tensor, and a shape tensor. All these three tensors can be wrapped into sparse tensor object before passing to the ops. Now what are ops? Ops are the TensorFlow operations known as ops. These are the nodes that perform the computations on or with tensor objects. After computation, they return 0 or more tensors which can be used by other operations later in the graph. Now let's create tensors. To create the tensor, now again I need this version 2.x. So let's run this. There will be an error because 1.x is being run. So this is an error because it is saying that TensorFlow is already loaded. Please restart the runtime. So how to restart runtime? Restart runtime. Now I want to use TensorFlow 2.x. Again shift enter. Okay, now TensorFlow 2.x is on. There are three types of tensors here: string tensor, number tensor, and a floating tensor. TF dot variable. All these three tensors are defined as variable TensorFlow. So TF dot variable every time. String has a value my name is a string with data type of TF dot string. Number 32 with data type TF dot int 16. Floating value 31.567 of data type TF dot float 64. Now let's run this block. Shift enter. So there is nothing printed because we have just initialized different tensors. Now I want to print all these three tensors. Shift enter with print string, print number, and print floating. So string tensor is being printed as my name is string. The number is 32 and the floating tensor has value of 31.567. Now rank and degree of tensors. Now another word for rank is degree. These terms simply mean the number of dimensions involved in the tensor. So if there is a 2D tensor, the rank will be 2. If there is a 3D tensor, then the rank will be 3. When there is a single value, it is known as a scalar. So what we created above is a tensor of rank 0, also known as a scalar. Now defining rank 1 tensor. How is it defined? TF dot variable. In this bracket we are writing only one value, so this is a single value tensor but as a vector. In rank 2 tensor there are two lists, test_ok and test_as. Both the lists have two values. So let's determine the rank of rank 2 tensor by shift enter. So this current tensor has a rank of 2. The rank of a tensor is directly related to the deepest level of nested list. You can see the first example. Test is a rank 1 tensor as the deepest level of nesting is 1, so there is only one value at the deepest level, whereas the second example, test_ok and test_as, is a rank 2 tensor as the deepest level of nesting is 2. So in this deepest level is 2. Now rank 4 tensor. Define TF dot ones. Now what happens is dot ones means I am filling ones. You can see here different ones are being filled as a rank 4 tensor, 4 dimensions. How? 4 into 5 is my matrix. If there are two matrices, it will be 3D, and if there are three lists of this dimension 2, 4, 5, then it is a 4D. How? I am printing this. Let's first run this command, shift enter. Nothing will be printed obviously. Now I am printing rank 4 tensor. So now what happens is different ones are being filled. 4 into 5 is the size of the matrix. Then 2, 4, 5 means there are two matrices of size 4, 5, and 3, 2, 4, 5 means there are three different 2, 4, 5s. So 2, 4, 5, 1, 2, 4, 5, 2, and 2, 4, 5, 3. So the shape is 3, 2, 4, 5, and the data type is float 32. This can be visualized as, so 4 into 5 is the matrix. So see at the bottom layer has 4 into 5 matrix. If there are two of it, so this green box is defining this 2, 4, 5. Now 3 means there are three different colors of 2, 4, 5: green box, blue box, and orange box. Let's print. Now in this block we need to print different values. So type of every element of the rank 4 tensor data type is to be printed. The number of dimensions are to be printed, shape of the tensor is to be printed, elements along axis 0, elements along last axis, and total number of elements. Now if I run this block, I will get the output as this. So the type of every element is float 32, the number of dimensions are 4, shape of the tensor is 3, 3, 2, 4, 5, elements along axis 0 of tensor are 3, elements along the last axis of the tensor are 5. So it can be determined from this. So this is axis 0, this is the last axis. Total number of elements are 3 into 2 into 4 into 5, it is 120. Now let's study indexing. So I'm going to demonstrate single axis indexing. So all the indexes start at 0. Negative indices count backwards from the end, and different columns are used for slicing: start, stop, and step. Let's define this rank 1 tensor. Rank 1 tensor is defined as a constant with values 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13. So this is the Fibonacci series, and let's print this tensor first. Now we can see that this tensor is being printed by converting into NumPy array. If I remove this dot NumPy function, then this tensor will be printed as a tensor. So if I want the only this first section out of this, I have to add dot NumPy function, and only the values will be printed. So if I want to print the first value, it is to be done by rank 1 tensor 0. So 0 is the index of the first value, second value is index 1, last value is index -1. So -1 means the last element of the tensor. If I remove this dot NumPy function, then these values will be printed as a tensor. Let's experiment for tensor 0. So first statement is printing the value as a tensor, but if I do it as dot NumPy function, then it is printing the values. Similarly, if I want to print everything of the tensor, rank 1 tensor, it is to be done by rank 1 tensor and colon. Colon means everything. By default, colon means everything, because there is no limit given. Before 4, it means that I want to take everything till 4 is there. Colon 4 means everything should be printed before 4. So from 4 to the end. So starting point is 4, colon means till the end. From 2 before 7. So the elements at the location 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 will be printed. 7 will not be printed because before 7, and also if there is colon 7, it means 7th value will not be picked. Similarly here, 4th value was not picked. Every other item, it means alternate items. So colon colon means start and stop is not defined. We want everything, but at a step of 2. So at a step of 2 means if I start from 0, then I print it as 0, 1, 3, 5, 21. In the reversed order means everything but steps of -1. So starting from the end, if I run this, the values printed are these. So when we print everything 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, before 4 means 0, 1, 1, 2. So why 4 values are printed? Because 0 is index 0, 1 is index 1, index 2, index 3. Before 4 means before 4th index. So up to 3rd index 0, 1, 1, 2. From 4 to the end, it means from 4th index. So 3, 5, 8, 13, 21 and 34 all are printed in this. From 2 before 7. So index 2 is this. Before 7 means index 7. Index 7 means 13. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 13 is index 7. So till index 6, that is 8, are the values. So from 2 to 6 is the before 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. Every other item means every alternate items. 0, 1, 3, 8 and 21. These are the every other items. And all the items in reverse means 34, 21, 13 and so on. Now the shape of tensors. The shape of a tensor is simply the number of elements that exist in each dimension. TensorFlow will try to determine the shape of a tensor, but sometimes it may be unknown. So let's see rank 1 tensor dot shape. So dot shape is the function to see what is the shape. So rank 1 tensor is this one rank 1 tensor. So this has a shape of 1 because it is a 1D tensor. Now rank 2 tensor has a 2 by 2 dimension. We saw rank 2 tensor above. So this is rank 2 tensor. This is a 2D tensor. Similarly, rank 4 tensor has 4 dimensions. So rank 4 tensor has shape 3, 2, 4, 5. Now how can we change the shape? Changing shape, we can use this reshape function. Now what to do? Tensor 1. We declare tensor 1 as tf.1s 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3 is the shape of the tensor, in which it means it is a single list of 2 by 3 matrix. Now I want to reshape it into the shape of 2, 3, 1. I want two matrices of size 3 into 1. Now let's first visualize tensor 1 and tensor 2. Print tensor 1. It means 2 into 3 single matrix. Tensor 2 is 2 matrices of 3 into 1. So 3 into 1, 3 into 1. So this is 2, 3, 1. Now 3 minus 1. Minus 1 is used when we want the calculation to be done automatically. So if there are total number of 6 elements, because total number of elements are 1 into 2 into 3, it is 6. So if there are 3 rows, then 2 columns are automatically calculated, and the shape is 3 into 2. So dot reshape is the function which is used to reshape tensor 1 and tensor 2 here in different dimensions. Now slicing the tensor. Now I want to slice a tensor and bring the values out of the tensor according to my need. So it can be done by first creating a 2D tensor. Now my tensor is this. It is a 4 row and 5 column tensor. So dimension is 4, 5. So it is a variable matrix and the rank of the tensor is 2. Why? Because dimensions are 4 into 5, so it is a 2D tensor, right? And the tensor dot shape means 4 into 5 is the shape. Now let's first run this matrix. So my tensor is this. Now I have written dot numpy function here. Why? Because I want to print the value at location this. So this can be run and the values can be seen as this. So dot numpy has helped us getting the only value. If I remove this numpy, then the value will be printed as a tensor. So this 3 is printed as a tensor. If I want only value, I have to use dot numpy function here. So 0, 2 means 0th row and second index value. So 0, 1 and 2. 0, 2 is 3. So I am going to print only values. Dot numpy function will be used for every printing. So when I do the printing, the values are like this. 3 dot numpy means the value 3 is printed. Tensor 0 means row 0. Full row 0 is printed. 1 2 3 4 5. This is my row 0. Tensor colon comma 0. It means all the rows but 0th column. So 1, 6, 11 and 16 is printed. Okay. 1 colon 2. It means starting from the 1 index row and a jump of 2. So 1 index row means second row. This is my 1 index row and a jump of 2 means this. So these two rows are printed 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. These two are printed because I am writing 1 colon 2. So 1th index row and a jump of 2. Column 1 in row 2 and 3. So it can be done by column 1. So column 1 means column value 0. Row 2 and 3 means this is now 1 colon 3 means value 1 and 2. So 3 is not included in 1 colon 3. So 1 and 2. 1 index and 2 index. So they are row 2 and 3. 1 and 2 means these two rows and column 0 means only 6 and 11. So 6 and 11 are printed. So this is how we do the slicing. Broadcasting with TensorFlow. There are three tensors defined as XYZ. X tensor has value 1, 2, 3. Y has a value of 2 and Z has a value of 2, 1, 2. Now I want to do the multiplication. TF dot multiply x comma 2. So the x tensor is multiplied by 2 by using broadcasting. So when I do the printing here, then 246 is printed. Why? Because this value of 2 is multiplied with every element of tensor x. Similarly, if I write here only 2, again this 2 is multiplied when I do x multiply y. So this is a element wise multiplication of y with every element of x. So x is 1, 2, 3 and y has a value of 2. So 2 is multiplied with every element of x. Similarly z, so every corresponding elements are multiplied 1 into 2, 1 into 2 and 2 into 3. So it is 2 to 6. Now different types of data and changing the type of data. A tensor can only have one type of data at a time. So we saw that we have declared x equal to tensor of 1, 2, 3. Now I want to check the data type of that tensor. It is int 32 value. Now I want to convert different data types. Now if I declare type float tensor as a constant of 3.142 and it is of type by float 32, the same value can be converted into integer by using tf.cast function. This dot cast function means I want to do the typecasting. I want to typecast this value of type float into int 32. Now if I print this type float dot dtype, it means it has a data type of float 32. But when I print the data type of type int, it has a data type of int 32. Type float tensor has a data type of float 32 and type int tensor has a data type of int 32. So these are printed. Now the last topic, the useful TensorFlow operators. Different operators can be used with TensorFlow: add function, subtract function, multiply, division, power, exponent and square root. All these values can be calculated using the TensorFlow functions. Some of them are described here. So I have defined a tensor A of constant value 1, 2, 3, 4. tensor B as a constant value of 1 1 1 1. We could also have written this as tf dot 1 2 comma 2, so it will be same as 1 1 1 1. Now for addition I will do tf dot add a comma b. It means that I want to add a and b and get the final value as the output. So 1 1 2 2 plus 1 3 3 plus 1 4 4 plus 1 5. So 2 3 4 5 is the answer of tf dot add. When I do the subtraction, it will be 1 minus 1 2 minus 1 3 minus 1 and 4 minus 1. It will be 0 1 2 3. So element wise subtraction is done. Similarly multiplication, when I do the multiplication, it is element wise multiplication. 1 into 1 1, 2 into 1 2, 3 into 1 3, 4 into 1 4. So it is 1 2 3 4. When I do the matrix multiplication, these two matrices are multiplied according to the rules of matrix multiplication and the value is 3377. Now let's run this first so that a and b are defined. A and b are defined and all the values have been printed. Now I want to do the same element wise addition, subtraction, multiplication and matrix multiplication by using the operators directly. So these values are same as we did with TensorFlow functions. That's it. Thank you for watching.